Well, look, it's Athena Massey. How are you, Athena?
Hello.
We're not back on Inara. We're here at the Hollywood Signing Show, and it's very good to see you. And
Thank you.
And another one of our visits with people that a lot of fans haven't got to hear from or hear speak about. But you were in the Voyager episode Remember, playing Jessen, one of the key Inarans who, if not the beginning of the plot, was kind of a key person, the memorable person by the end of the episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
So how's your what brought you to that Voyager episode? How's your that was, I know, 15 years ago or whatever, but your career before and since that moment, though, just for a second.
What has brought me up to that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so much.
I know. I know. We could IMDb
So
and see a lot of the
all kinds of comedy and martial arts films and sci-fi and psychological thrillers, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So in that mix, that's where we put the context of this,
Right.
Which for so many of the people who especially have guest starred on episodes, especially the original series people in the 60s, it's because you have the time of years past.
Right.
But for so many people, when you book a Star Trek, I don't know how it was for you, but a lot of people, it's like it's another job out of hundreds, maybe, auditions certainly, and then maybe dozens of roles, and you don't stop and think that 15, 20, 30, even for some of them 50 years later, out of everything they ever did, that 1 or 2 or 3 or weeks worth of work is the one thing that people are talking about.
Right. It's amazing to see how much of a life it can continue to have. I think that year there was so much going on. I was one of Seinfeld's girlfriends that had just been dumped twice, as if once wasn't enough. And then, was it even Murder One as well? And I had also just gotten back from doing 2 films in Ireland. There was just so much going on that, like you said, it's like you're going on another audition, you're going on another job. And I don't think I even realized the magnitude of Star Trek Voyager and the life that it can have so many years later. I just remember being in wardrobe, and of course they're fitting the little green outfit to me, and I went, kind of look like the Jolly Green Giant's daughter. And then they're going to add lettuce to my head, and then spray paint these spots. Like, you don't see my brown hair, of course, because I have this, it looked like a yarn or rope or something that they unraveled and then used as my hair. And then I had these little spots kind of spray painted here, which are pretty cool because I love leopard print. So I felt like I had it on my head. And this little woven lettuce thing. But the security on that costume, let me tell you, man, you're working on Star Trek Voyager. I almost felt like it was guards waiting for me to take it off, that I had to hand it to them. I went, it's whatever, I'll leave it in the dressing room. They go, oh, no. Like, they had to make sure that costume got checked in, it was protected, and I go, come on, it's a Jolly Green Giant outfit. They're like, no, people break into the studios to steal the costumes.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, no, that was a really distinct, I like you said, the lettuce head, that was a really distinctive look. Well, they done that for that culture, for that race.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So everyone had, I said lettuce for mine because my outfit was green, but other people had other colors.
Now, did you have long hair then, or was it?
I did. So all this had to be put up into, like a little, what do you call those things?
Like a ball, not a ball cap, but hairnet.
Yeah, like a little hairnet. Yeah. So, and then the hair went on. It took probably about almost 2 hours between hair and makeup, between the little spray painted spots. And then the lettuce thing, it's not lettuce, but I call it lettuce, had to be, spirit gummed on. And, you can't just rip that stuff off either.
So those are the kinds of things that stick out in your mind, just going from one job to the next, and like, okay, guys, this is Star Trek with the wacky costume and the costume security guys. Right. But how about actually, because you had a lot of scenes with Garrett as Harry Kim.
Harry Kim, and with B'Elanna Torres.
And with B'Elanna, because you kind of, I was saying, you kind of like wound up being the vessel that she, because remember, is all about the power of this suppressed history and this big secret this whole culture is carrying on, and and you become kind of the lifeline. It's almost, I said, it was a little bit like an underground version of King Arthur at the end of Camelot, giving the little kid the secret of Camelot to pass on, only in a more sinister way. or not a sinister way, but kind of keeping it alive. So, yeah, 2 or 3 different scenes and sets, and just any memories of working with Garrett or with Roxanne, either one.
Well, first I remember just being in makeup and looking over and seeing, the prosthetics going on. Of course, different characters. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I want to start with Voyager. Like, look at these guys. So I loved that, and everybody was just super, super nice, very professional. And it's funny because in between takes, to see just the comedy that goes on behind set, and then of course once we call action, now everyone's really stern and straight and serious.
Yeah.
And then of course, after cut, it's like everyone's cracking jokes again, and so that's always fun and nice.
Well, that was in the heart of the famous Star Trek well-oiled machine as far as the production end of it. I mean,
absolutely.
Did you feel like you were just in good hands? I mean, like these people know what they're doing, and they've done it forever and all that. Yeah.
Well, especially when you can see people just turn it on, turn it off. That was great. Garrett was great to work with as well. Very, very nice and friendly and professional. Really just everybody was. And just to be able to have the experience to be on these sets, I'm looking around going, wow. How cool.
I think you were, so you were saying that maybe at the time, you're in the, I hate to say assembly line, but you're in the rush of getting work done, getting work and doing it well and moving on to the next project.
Right.
So was there ever, did you not really have a self-awareness of, oh my God, this is Star Trek? Or was this the first, let me ask you this, was this the first, like you were talking about the prosthetics, was this kind of the first sci-fi or genre thing that you had been part of where that really stuck out?
No, I've done a lot of science fiction.
And before that, I mean.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And definitely dealt with, prosthetics and a variety of things. So that wasn't new to me, but again, I'm just very honored to even been a part of Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah. So maybe the pace on a TV scale was what impressed you. I don't know. I didn't know how many of those were features versus series you were talking about. But yeah. So, but as the work itself, but again, not as much a part of G. Somebody's going to be sitting in 2016 talking to me about this these days on this show that I'm on. Yeah, not so much. So what's been after? How soon did it strike you after finishing that show? I mean, did you start getting around? Because Star Trek fans are a lot of completists, and there are a lot of fans of Voyager and the whole franchise who they go through everything with a comb, and they're reaching out to actors, they're reaching out to crew people.
Right.
Do you have any stories of after you filmed it, how maybe it started coming out of the woodwork of all the roles and work you'd done, that maybe this one was going to have a little extra cachet with it?
No, I think I remember once being at Comic-Con in San Diego and having people come up and talk to me about the episode and the characters, and it's just amazing sometimes when they know so much more about everything. I'm like, okay, and they can diagnose literally like every scene and moment and the whole history of the character.
Yeah.
And I think, wow, they know so much more than me. I just did my job. I did my job.
Did your job well and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
But there are so many shows that they're like classic episodes in all the series, but remember, really, it's one of those that kind of creeps up on you because of in the moment, the point of the message was, it was basically a German Nazi-like culture that had, and rather than embrace the guilt, tried to suppress it and pretend like nothing, like cleaned up their act, but tried to pretend that nothing happened. And the point of the show was that that's as dangerous as having done it in the first place. Like, no, you have to embrace that.
Right.
And so it's, once again, it's science fiction and embracing a powerful concept, like kind of like sneaking it in there, but it's very much there, and then being a key part at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and Roxanne's. So I was going to say that a lot of people seeing this may remember you, not in the flesh, but you had a really big role in what was the game?
Oh, Command and Conquer?
Yes.
In the Red Alert series. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a ton of fun. That was actually, I think, my first time working with teleprompter and having no set whatsoever. I think most of the time I just had a little keyboard. So, everything is into camera. There was one scene I think I actually got to have actors in a little set to work with. But between Tiberian Sun, Red Alert, and Red Alert 2. Of all three of them, there was only one actual set.
Yeah.
Everything else was blue screen, green screen, and yeah, that was a blast to work on. I really loved being a part of that series as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so does this mean we may be seeing your lovely face out on some of the shows and conventions coming up here? Or?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, okay.
Absolutely. You know what? I loved the opportunity to be able to connect with fans, just to meet people, to see them, to answer questions, and just to have a face. And I'm so, so grateful for just the support, you know, from each person.
Yeah.
Whether they're tuning into a TV show, buying a DVD, you know, Netflix or Redboxing something. So
playing a
love
game?
that. Exactly,
Yeah.
playing a game. I know my
Yeah.
daughter's playing this now. I was like, what are you doing? So, and then I go, you can't play the Russian side, you have to play the American side. Hello? I'm like, this is your mom. I was like, I forbid you to be a Russian in Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
You must be American.
That's funny.
But yes, I love being able to go to conventions and travel and meet and greet with people. To me, that's huge, because so often, you know, people are watching your work and you don't know that, and I think it's really great too, just to be able to give the fans that opportunity, because they're watching you on film, they're watching you on their TV, or they're looking through a magazine, or on their, you know, iPads and their phones. So there's always this distance, and to me, it's really important to be able to not only see someone face to face, but to just have that conversation and that connection. And I mean, I love that, whether it's acting or anything in my life, just to have that connection with people is important.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was great to connect with you here today.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
All good things to you and yours. And again, it's amazing how when you're doing a role, doing some work like that, to stop and think that you'd be talking about those specific days ages back. But
Right.
that's pop culture and the genre, and that's Star Trek.
Yep. Look out for the trading cards. They're great. I just signed about 1,000 trading cards for Star Trek Voyager for the 20-year anniversary.
Okay.
Got to collect them.
Yes.
To get all of them.
Yep.
But yeah, that was great to be a part of that too.
Well, there we go. You'll be making a few more connections on those, I think, as well.
There you go.
Coming down the line.
Looking
So,
forward.
anyway, thanks for sitting down with us today. Athena.
Absolutely. Thank you
Okay,
for having
and we'll
me. It's
see
my
you
pleasure.
out there. Okay. Bye.
Bye.